The big day has arrived. The envelope with all the answers was lying on the table.
Oh, come on. Oh, look, here is the envelope. We absolutely did all of this for that envelope. Well, just a bit sick towards the end like this. Many of you got sick, certainly, I know very well. Thank you so much for coming. It's indeed, essentially, basically the very last and final day of the challenge. I think we have indeed had a rather unusual month behind us. Everyone is quite a bit tired, but everyone put in all that, which I think they could absolutely, certainly, definitely, without a doubt put in. That's why we completely and entirely put together an application from the very beginning from scratch in 30 days, ensuring every detail was meticulously crafted, which already thousands of people started using from the very first day. The question for this evening is whether that crazy challenge, which we thank beautifully, Hild Imre, that together we came up with on the first day, whether we were really able to realize it. You see, this challenge was about us mentioning numbers in that certain cafe, restaurant, or any other similar establishment, perhaps in the city or even elsewhere. And there we figured out that then in approximately 30 days from about 3 million forints in total, it amounted to, we can easily put together a multi-billion business. And successfully. The truth undeniably also includes that this incredibly lucrative multi-billion business and has become somewhat a bit blurred in the recent period. Because at the beginning it was about wanting to put together a business worth 1 billion. Then, just a few days later, only a few days after the challenge, we realized that this may indeed mean something in Hungary, but abroad that now you are indeed putting together a $2-3 million company. That's not very exciting. Since it seems that possibly Lenar can confirm this, or maybe otherwise, Imre's acquaintance, the head of the Harvard Innovation Center, said that in America, 2 developer guys come together and start a company, then that is already a $3 million company in the startup world, because unfortunately, the valuation of these tech startup companies at the beginning, this is how it happens. So in the midst of the challenge, we, this $1 billion company value, pushed it higher, and we said, indeed, what if, hypothetically speaking, a $10 million company, or if we could put together a company close to $10 million. Since, as you know, our acquaintance out there said that the Americans might possibly raise their eyebrows at that. Okay, so I would like to thank you very much once again, regardless of what my dear friend Leonard says. Regardless of that, I think this whole thing is incredibly successful. We built something from scratch. Now the growth phase, that's a next phase. Imre can also say that this is one of the most difficult phases. You should know that, as you may already be aware, the current number of subscribers, which is indeed quite significant and noteworthy, a significant portion of its paying customers, a good number, are already from abroad. We still have a lot of assumptions. However, I think perhaps Leonard will say this, and a few more details. And then let's just speed it up a little bit more, or rather, accelerate it just a little bit more.
The Absolvo team was ready to finally reveal the results of the company review. Colleagues waited anxiously.
So actually Zsigmond asked that back then, that when we reach the end of the challenge, wherever we are, let's take a look. What the company's value will be there, let's say, in terms of the assumed potential value, future growth, and potential market impact of the startup. As Zsigmond mentioned, I have been challenging them in the past hours to gather various data and to obtain additional numbers, so we were able to work partly with relevant factual data. And by the way, regarding certain parameters, we are forced to, in order to apply some kind of assumptions effectively and efficiently in a comprehensive manner, collaboratively with the team. Now, the data we have calculated, assessed, and evaluated is approximately about 8,000 to 9,000 new users per month. paying users who remain after the trial, approximately around 8 to 9,000, and this needs to be done in the next period. The evaluation is sensitive to our valuation model regarding growth, so practically, if it's not this much or not that, then what we calculated here does not hold. Well, so if you bring in more users, then it can probably be even better. Sensitive in other direction as well. That's right, so your company value can be better. If you don't just bring in this much, then forget it. What we calculated here, because the equation has already been disrupted. But based on this, we arrived at a relatively narrow range in which I think that the data received and the discussed and the assumptions briefly summarized earlier, this is an acceptable valuation. Please do, go ahead.
Thank you.
The challenge had 3 pillars.
The first is the 30 days.
It was okay.
The second point of the challenge, 3 million forints. In all honesty, the truth is that we did not succeed in this particular endeavor. So by the 14th day, approximately a little more than 4.5, we spent almost 5 million forints, which is in total, including everything. And after the start, since we had certainly quite a nice revenue, actually, by the way, until the 14th, 15th day, mainly the preliminary marketing and with various additional costs, such as those we did not account for, such as Bettina mentioned this as well, we got a bit delayed with this, and in the first 2 weeks, we also invested an additional 3-4 million forints in marketing on top of this. So overall, we spent roughly 8 to 9 million forints in 30 days. It is also worth mentioning that in the period following the launch, we were essentially spending from the revenue so that this might function as a valid excuse for us in order to, in our defense. But the viewers, we didn't put this all together from 3 million forints, not misleading. The data we received is comprehensive. We need to know if
Oh, I see the anticipation is killing you all. Leonard has the same paper. Should I let him reveal the secret and relieve your suffering?
so we actually did not just reach the $10 million. But based on the received data, as well as the above assumptions, the company's valuation is 9.1 and is estimated to be between 9.8 million US dollars.
So is it actually over then? Is this the end right here at this moment? I can't believe it's over. I mean, you see perhaps, don't get me wrong, but why? We filmed a lot and recorded a variety of incredible, memorable moments. Well, the joke isn't that it was 30 days, but that it was for a duration of 30 days and being locked up with the crew, filming. Very tough indeed. I really like the crew. They're absolutely incredibly cool, but it was tough. Let's at least rest for at least a month before the next shoot, okay?
I will be completely honest with you. You've never heard this from me before. I've run out of words, to be completely honest.
It was indeed a bit shocking. Let's wait for the consequences and see what happens.
Yes.
Let's give him 30 days of rest and then...
Hey everyone, I was just thinking, what do you all think about having a closing interview? Perhaps we could discuss it further.
Brief closing interview.
How did you feel?
Very well. I'm very tired, but very well.
Reveal BTS secret.
Of course, all...
Bettina said at the beginning that there is no amount of money that would make her stand in front of understanding cameras.
In contrast, last week she actually asked me why she indeed wasn't in more scenes, perhaps because she really enjoyed this whole thing. Right. But you were really very skilled.
Thank you.
The interview rooms are really cool.
Thank you.
Look, it absolutely really brought out such a side of you, even for me. So very much indeed and sincerely,
I indeed enjoyed it very, very much. I truly like the crew. They are absolutely really cool people.
Very interesting.
It definitely gave a whole color to this challenge by the way that we did. The challenge became much more lively. We weren't just counting the days, but this was also part of it. And every minute it came through that, damn, they will see this and this has to be done. So it gave another significant boost like this, but regrettably, it also took time. But it was really, truly great.
Yes. And it's interesting that...
What are your insights, perhaps?
Basically, I experienced the whole thing positively, especially now that I know that we successfully met the challenge in various different ways. But for me, this was, without a doubt, a much more significant stress. You know me, I have indeed a perfectionism mania. I want to do everything to the maximum as well. And since this kind of aspect was part of the project, it was up to me. I very, very much indeed, truly and sincerely, absolutely and completely, undoubtedly. I tried very hard indeed to do well. I tried very hard indeed to do quality work, consistently. I wanted to work with exactly such people. When we envisioned this whole project, only with such people.
For this, we would just need such an AI button. And then you press it in the corner, and then it summarizes the daily parts.
We owe one more thing to discuss and finalize, and more precisely, we have jointly decided on two important matters after careful consideration, ensuring all perspectives were considered, that not only the profit portion of the amount received in the past month, but also the YOLO in the next year. We are committed to ensuring that we will return the entire portion of the profit received through AI to Hungarian education, which will benefit students, educators, and the educational infrastructure. We will do all this in such a way that we publish quarterly how much it was, in a very detailed and comprehensive manner, the profit of the quarter, and we would like to allocate this amount for such purposes. That relates to the future of education, the effectiveness of education, and its potential long-term implications, and ensures and guarantees, in a comprehensive, detailed, and thorough manner, and in a systematic way, more effective training for the students. So these are not just significant and impactful words now in front of the camera, but we would indeed also like to have some kind of follow-up. We would like to involve the viewers in how the life of YoloAI will evolve in the coming months. And we would also like to include and involve them in this profit as well. How this amount has been spent exactly, in detail, and specifically on charitable purposes in a comprehensive manner. And in conclusion, as we wrap up this session, besides saying goodbye, we want to express our deepest gratitude to you. Thank you very much for your time, your attention, and your engagement. We truly appreciate you being with us today. I think in your name as well, we would like to sincerely thank the viewers very much for all the truly wonderful comments and for watching the entire series. We hope that we were able to inspire a few people in the past weeks. And we wish that anyone who feels a little motivation within themselves should feel free to start, to take the first step. And believe me, you saw, once you take the first step, the next one will come naturally. You might not perhaps end up there, where you first imagined and thought about it and considered it and reflected on it, but you will ultimately end up in a much better place than you ever expected. So we truly and sincerely thank you deeply from the bottom of our hearts and a single unresolved thread. There have been numerous occurrences and significant events that have taken place over the past few weeks, and more specifically, within the past few days, that we have not yet had the opportunity to show you or discuss in detail. This just happened recently a few days ago in the vibrant and bustling metropolis of New York City, a place that has undoubtedly and irrevocably altered my personal life forever. The impact is not limited to just the short term. It extends significantly into the medium and long term as well. This influence is both ongoing and has been evident in the past, demonstrating a consistent pattern of change and adaptation over time. And we would like to tie up this thread in a very detailed and comprehensive manner as a conclusion. Please watch it with deep and abiding love, care, compassion, and kindness, and I sincerely trust that I am confident that in the future, whether in this form or another, in some way or another, we will meet again sometime soon.
See you later, guys.
We told you that Vivi hasn't been feeling well for a few days.
I didn't sleep at all because Vivi was feeling so bad. She was in pain all night. Everything was wrong with her. Now the production manager took her to the doctor.
Well, now it's time to reveal what was behind it. There's something we haven't revealed until now.
Wait, just a moment.
What's up? What exactly is this? Another baby, indeed. Now I understand why you were up so late at night. It all makes sense now. Should we perhaps show it to the camera?
As the saying goes, as it is often remarked, man plans and God laughs. Looks like we're definitely gonna have another baby.
I truly and deeply love you more than words can indeed say. This is incredible, I can hardly believe it. Boy or girl, do we know yet? Or is that early? So I don't even understand how many weeks old.
9.
9 weeks, is it really? And you haven't noticed until now?
No!
Wow, I'm just absolutely speechless.
6 kids, 4 each, but together it only adds up to 6. So perhaps at this very moment, do you perhaps want to say something right now?
If I can handle 5, then I can handle 6 as well.